Hey guys, Jacob here. This is another 1.8.3 build video for the Division. This is going to be a more PvE based build instead of a PvP. I know like most of my builds I've made are PvP, but this one can be PvP if you guys really want to try it out. But I decided to experiment with this and test it out just for PvE. As you guys will see, I'm running 3-piece striker with 2-piece final measure, aka final strike, which is the name of the build I decided to name this. Mostly for the 3-piece, you guys can use this to get the damage and the stacks from the NPCs, and you can use the final measure to protect you from the burn and the protection from elites as a 3-piece, so enemies don't hit you as hard. And the EDR works against grenades, the burn, the disrupts, all that stuff that hits you. The main reason, or the main idea I came up with this build was running Amherst, and when I ran Napalm and Falcon's Lost, Dragon's Nest, that's the word. But those 3 missions I decided to make a build for, mostly because I was constantly getting hit by fire, I was constantly getting hit by NPCs that hit insanely hard, and I wanted something that spit out damage that also gave you a tiny bit of protection. And sure, you do get the healing from the 6-piece striker, but I wanted something just a little bit different and experiment. I'll get right into the guns, so you guys can see I'm running a destructive, deadly, and ferocious LVOA, or my bad, lightweight M4 and an LVOA. Personally, ferocious could actually be re-rolled, but it's just kind of there. I'd rather but it's there, and I don't have any other guns that have these type of rolls with destructive, deadly, and predatory. I did, but I have no idea what happened to it. It's gone, so it's whatever. 19.9 base damage. This weapon is not fully optimized since I just got it the other night, and I crafted it, and this is what it's at the moment. The mods are a pro red dot sight with crit hit chance, headshot damage, and crit hit damage. Extended mag with crit chance, rate of fire, and magazine size. A small grip with crit damage, stability, optimal range. An FDE suppressor with crit hit damage, headshot damage, and crit hit chance. You can put this on instead, which is a loud vent break, which makes the threat go up a lot higher from the NPCs. But if you don't like suppressors, you can throw this on here instead. Personally, I like the suppressors just a tiny bit more on my striker, since I'm also going to be getting stacks, and I like the quietness of it, but that's just me. I kind of switch between back and forth. Like on this, I usually tend to use them on SMGs, but lately I've been using suppressors for some reason on my lightweights. Usually I don't, but now I am. The second weapon is the LVOA, sustained, self-preserved, and predatory. This gun is actually probably the best weapon I have with these type of talents on it. I'd probably rather have sustained, predatory, and determined, just to get the signature skill back and the skills itself, but I wasn't that lucky. But this one gives you 6% by killing a target. You get the crit hit chance on your gun, and when you hit crits, you get heals back from the 3% of damage dealt. In predatory, when you kill someone, you get 35% health regeneration for over 20 seconds. The mods on this weapon are a holographic sight, mostly for the little bit extra crit chance. Extended mag with crit damage, rate of fire, and magazine size. I know it's crit hit damage, not crit hit chance, but I cannot find my other magazine crit hit chance mag at the moment, so that's what I'm dealing with now. Crit hit damage on the grip, accuracy, and reload speed. You also want to try to get stability instead of reload speed, but that's just what's on there at the moment. Loud vent break with crit damage, headshot damage, crit chance. The only reason I'm running a loud vent break on here is because I don't have another suppressor. I only have one suppressor for some reason at the moment, and I cannot get my hands on a good one for the life of me. Now goes down to the sawed-off shotgun. Self-preserved, predatory, determined. This is the only weapon I have that has determined on this build, mostly because it's in the last slot. That way you can get the skill active. Killing a target reduces all skill cooldowns by 7%, and predatory. So when you kill an NPC with this, if they're on low health to get your talents back, you can just shoot them with this, and you get the skill cooldown. Also, predatory gives you 35% health regeneration over 20 seconds, just like the LVOA. Now, the chest piece. EDR, health, ammo capacity, stamina. Has 2 firearms health mods on it. The mask is rolled for firearms, crit chance, disorient resistance, and has a stamina health mod. The knee pads, which are final measure, have bleed, shock, burn, crit hit damage, and firearms. The mod on this is a stamina health with crit hit chance pulse mod. Personally, I think all these minors are necessary for final measure, even if you're running the normal one. I think you should have all 3 of those on all your knee pads if you get them. But that's just my personal opinion. You could run damage to elites, if I remember correctly, on these. Or you could run, like as the Banshees, you can see, as burn, damage to elites, and blind and deaf. That's also a few rolls you can have as well. But personally, I think these ones are the best ones you can get. Now the Ninja Bag. It's rolled for stamina, crit damage, ammo capacity, and has a stamina health mod with 2 pulse mods, which is crit hit damage and a crit hit chance one. The gloves are assault rifle, crit chance, crit damage, and firearms. The knee pads are final measure, all stats, crit chance, and a pulse crit damage mod. Now I'll go into the abilities. So you guys can see I'm running. Usually I run the pulse, but lately I've been running the immune station. So I kind of go back and forth between these two, but you can use whatever you want. Booster shot for the extra damage, and the immune station to prevent fire and other status effects. I've been using a turret a little bit in a few of the missions just to get rid of some of the NPCs, but I think the immune station works a little bit better with this build since it is a DPS, not a tactician or electronics build. The talents I'm using is Adrenaline for status effect immunity for 7 seconds, Critical Save, Combat Medic, and Strike Back. Strike Back is pretty, personally I don't think I might swap this out with something else. Sorry, I cannot speak. Because there's just really no point, because you're going to be sitting back in the missions and beaming people with this build, and your booster isn't really giving that much health. So I think swapping this out with something like Precision or something like Tactical Advance when you go into cover and hit someone, or you could even use Steady Hands, which personally I think might be the best, so that way you're in the cover, and when you go into cover, your recoil goes down and you could hit targets a little bit easier. But that's just me. One thing that's essential, which is this Critical Save. When you use a med kit, when you're actually fighting NPCs, if they're right in front of your face on Legendary, it'll give you resistance by 20%. And Combat Medic, when you're near a teammate and you hit them with your heal, like the booster, it doesn't really give them shit. But if you hit them with the booster plus this, it gives them a pretty good heal. May not be that great for the booster, but if you hit them with a med kit, it gives them a pretty decent heal. That's really about it for the video, guys. One thing I will note, if you want to use this for PvP, I would use this guy right here, which is a Deadly and Vicious or Deadly and Responsive, which one you want to use, because this is the best SMG in the game, and it hits insanely hard. And I will show you guys the character sheet on the weapons too as well, so you guys can see if you really care. Crit chance is 23%, 127% damage, 0 accuracy, headshot damage is 87%, stability is 23%, and I'll show you guys the health on kill, which is 0. The enemy armor damage is plus 49%. The threat is minus or negative 47%. Everything else on here is pretty much low. The toughness is 477,000. Max health is 319,000. The protection from elites is 15,000. And you guys can see the EDR is 36. And this is where the bleed, the burn, the disorient resistance, and the shock come into play. That way you can have all these, and they protect you against the status effects. That's really about it for the video, guys. As always, I'll catch you in the next one.
Fuck!